Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. Thank you, Guruji, for this wonderful opportunity to be in this satsang today. Really thankful. So my journey with Guruji started in the peak of pandemic, the first lockdowns. September 2020. I think this is not working.
It's okay. It won't go here. It's only.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. September 2020 is the time my husband was diagnosed with blood cancer, and it was a very horrendous time. Everybody can, people understand cancer, always Rupali auntie says, people always think, we always thought cancer is equal to death until we came into the charan of Guruji. Now I know cancer is not equal to death, and if Guruji is there in anybody's life, there is always life. So Guruji has given life, rebirth to my husband, life to all of us in my family, myself, my daughters. So we have this wonderful, beautiful life after his treatment. So when he was diagnosed, it was of course a very horrendous time, and no doctors would tell anything. Everybody always said that each person responds to the same chemotherapy in a very different way. So we will not be able to tell how many chemotherapies he will need, whether he will need a bone marrow transplant. All that cannot be told now. Just go with the flow. Start the treatment, go with the flow. So we went with the flow, and he kept needing platelets every second day, and COVID time made it very difficult to find donors. So platelets, I never knew all of this before that. So when you need a bag of platelets, you need to give a donor and then take the platelets. Jai Guruji. Shukrana Guruji. I had no idea about all of this at that time, and then it was very difficult to find donors, and somehow my brother-in-law took that job. He said, don't worry about that, I will do it back end. He kept supplying donors one after the other and all of that. So that every second day we were going for platelet transfusion, because one day it will show 50,000 and the next day it will fall to 25. It will be so dangerous that he had to be rushed to the hospital for the platelet transfusion. This was going on, and by November first week we were kind of we were thinking, what next? We didn't know. Nobody would tell us what was happening. Even doctors would say, as I said earlier. So that's when I had my life's best day was to enter into this darbar on November 9th, 2020, around 5:30ish in the evening. I entered, and then it changed completely for us. And the moment we entered, like how Rupali auntie is so good that she is, and she kept giving us so much hope and said, but something told me that there is hope now. The moment I entered, I stepped in here, I sat here, I was looking at Guruji for the first time. I have seen Guruji earlier in other some years back, and I kind of didn't register much, but when I saw Guruji here in the darbar for the first time here, there was a very different feeling. I don't know. I felt the first thing was hope. The tears wouldn't stop. It was just constant. It just coming like that. And my auntie said, let her cry, let her cry, let her get it out of her system. And then I felt, Guruji was looking at me. Like I went and sat there, she consoled me, and then Guruji is looking at me. Then I went and sat there, Guruji is looking at me. That the vision, he's just constantly, looking at me. I said, now that Guruji has looked at me, and I'm like, yeah, sorted. He is going to live. That's the first time in 2 months I felt that he is going to live, and there is hope for us. And we will definitely be treated. And then we had that langar prasad and that hot chili chutney and all of that. And I was so scared. I was giving him double boiled and water, double hygienic food, everything as per doctor's advice. And here we are eating something out of that comfort zone, and that water and all of that, and that tikka chili chutney. And I am looking at him, can you eat? He said, I'll try. And he's like, having tears in his eyes. I said, are you fine? No, it's okay, I can handle. He's like pushing that inside and then drinking water and pushing it inside. And then I was praying to Guruji. I said, okay, somewhere I had that comfort that he'll be fine, and I didn't get scared about that. And he was fine. And this 9th November 2020, and 10th he had to take 7th was the last platelet transfusion he had. And 10th we gave a sample for checking CBC and all of that. And the reports came, and we didn't put much meaning to that report, because these reports were coming in like that anyways. 12th we had to go and meet the doctor, because 14th onwards he had to start the third session of chemotherapy. So 12th, when we went and met the doctor, for the first time in 2 months, he said, this is his own platelets, it's not the donor platelet. So that is Shukrana Guruji. Even today, I cannot forget that moment when doctor told us it is his own platelets and it's not the donor platelets. And from then onwards, things started looking up. The cancer treatment itself is very difficult. It's not any bed of roses, we all know that. But at least, there was always a hope. There was, the fear was there, but the hope was more. Sometimes it was always like that, but always there was hope that nothing can go wrong from here onwards. Guruji is with us. Guruji is with us. Nothing can go wrong. Guruji will take care. And true to that, every report was a blessing. Every report. And even Guruji changed the treating doctors after a point of time. Somewhere some comfort was not happening, something like that. And he's a good doctor, definitely. And Guruji kept telling, you need to go to this doctor. We had consulted him in the beginning. So we went, and he is Guruji's roop. I saw Guruji in him. He is. So whoever calls me now, whichever part of the country, I tell them please come and meet that doctor. Just take 1 second opinion from him. Just do a video consult. He is Guruji for me. So Guruji showed like that. I saw Guruji in so many people like that, different doctors, the nurses that treated him in the transplant unit. 1 month he was in transplant, and he had to go through one of the most difficult chemotherapies, where the bone marrow is completely erased of this patient. And then my daughter's stem cells were injected into him. That happened in March 21. And that was also a smooth procedure as per the doctor. Every day that angel of the doctor used to come, Dr. Monisha, she used to come and tell us that he is having the normal, there are side effects, but these are all normal. This is what we expect at this stage. He is going through everything in a normal stage. I would just fall at Guruji's Sharan and say, Shukrana Guruji for this. Every day, every day of that 30 days that I was in the hospital, we were on the 7th floor. That itself was the first biggest blessing. I thought, okay, the stem cell transplant unit is on the 7th floor. And he got the room number 703 or whatever. So I said, okay. Now, I am going to take him back home healthy. I know that. The moment I saw it is 703, I was quite sure about that. And then the treatment started, and every day was a blessing. I think 6th or 7th day he had to undergo this very difficult chemotherapy, where he was connected to all the wires, and the heart was monitored. Apparently anything can go wrong type of chemotherapy that is. 2 hours I put on mantra jap. One year only. 1 year I was taking out just to watch out for any sounds that he might give. But Sangatji, you won't believe that 2 hours he slept like a baby, and doctor wouldn't believe that. Every 10 minutes she would come and peep. There was a small glass on the door. She would come and peep, and she would see, he's sleeping? Fine. Okay. Good. She would just show thumbs up and she'd walk out. So that the most toughest chemotherapy he got over in the 2 sessions of chemotherapy he got through, and then he had to go over to another echogram and all of that, and they confirmed that heart didn't get affected. Shukrana Guruji again for that. So like that, every stage Guruji, I felt Guruji's presence in that room. Even if I would go to the bathroom, I would see Guruji's Swarup like this, and the moment I look at Guruji's face, okay, Guruji will take care. This 10 minutes also, even when I go for my bath, even if I go from toilet also, I would just look at Guruji, I'll take care, you go. Main hu na. That was there in my head, and then when I come back and see, he'll be sleeping. I said, okay, Guruji is taking care of him. So that got cleared. And then after that, as per the protocols, we were told the first 100 days is the most critical. Anything can happen. So the success of this transplant is 65-35. 65% is success, depending on person to person, how much they take the transplant and the chemotherapy effects and all of that. So luckily, not lucky, I mean, I would say it's all Guruji's blessings that he was in that 65%, he just fell into that 65% where, Guruji has given him the life, the second life, rebirth for him, for our family. Today he is fine by the grace of Guruji. Small things and everything Guruji takes care. I just leave it at Guruji's feet and I say, yeah, Guruji is there, he will take care. No, I'm not worried, I'm not scared. So when there is a fear, I always say, as Rupali aunty always says, there has to be, where there is faith, there should not be fear. So whenever some fear comes up, I always say that which is bigger, Guruji's faith or this fear? So yes, Guruji's faith. So yes, faith is bigger. So I will always trust Guruji. I'm always at Guruji's feet. I say I will be saying Shukrana to Guruji till my last breath, and even if there is any next birth, whatever, I would like to be at Guruji's feet. This I will say in every satsang that I'm going to be there, and Shukrana Guruji. After that treatment, every single report, every single person that I have met is a blessing, has been a blessing, and I believe further now, from now onwards also, it will be a big blessing. Shukrana Guruji, Shukrana Guruji, Shukrana. Thank you.
हर पल तेरा शुक्र मनाऊं, दिन रैन तेरे गुण गाऊं, तेरे चरणों की धूली को मैं सिर मस्तक